currently, 2010, integral. They cannot be separate. My faith and my music career and my success cannot be like this. If they're not completely integrated, meaning if I'm not aligned with what God has planned for me in my life, I will fail. I will not succeed. So if I don't keep that in mind, I might as well not even be doing this. In fact, there's been many times where I've debated, is hip-hop what God wants for me? As of right now, I can say yes, because He's been opening a lot of doors and a lot of miracles have been happening outside of my control. That's when you know it's a miracle, when no human willpower got it done, you know? In the past, including when I was writing At Last, the album, I wasn't really seeking God. So, you know, my spiritual faith, my spiritual journey has changed, grown, you know, matured over the years, and I'm still maturing. But right now, it's like I don't want to do one without the other. So my music's probably going to come out sounding, you're still going to hear lyrics, you're still going to hear braggadocious stuff, you're still going to hear all that. But it's really important that I glorify God with what I do in the future. To me, it's interesting. Everybody's family is complicated, everyone's. So when someone looks at me and says it's complicated, I'm like, you have no idea how much I understand that concept. Like, there's things that I still will never be able to explain to anybody about my family, and I'm sure other people can relate to that statement. So, families take work, but you have them for life, and I don't believe in any way, shape, or form, no matter what your family does, no matter what, that people should cut off family. And so what happened with me in my life is that for like 15 years plus, there was family members that I didn't speak to. Not by choice, just by, you know, other situations, complications. So for me to be reunited with half of my family that I didn't speak to for over 15 years just due to other stuff, it's made me realize how I missed that, how there was, you know, something missing in me, and how that was healed by that. So that's why you hear me talk about family a lot, you hear me promote family a lot, just because, you know, I've been through not having it and then having it, and realizing that I'm not completely, you don't know who you are unless you know where you came from and where you're going. A big part of where you came from is connecting with your family. So it always hurts me, not to go on and on, but I have a lot of people, a lot of friends that aren't in contact with family members, and sometimes not by choice, you know, they'll be like, oh, okay, that's their issue. But no matter what, I don't care if you have to reach out and be a better person. I don't care if you have to forgive even when there's nothing that you did wrong. No matter what, I think nothing should stand between you reconnecting with long lost loved ones and family, whether that be half siblings, whether that be uncles, whether that be your father that was deadbeat and left you when you were 2. Like, I don't care what it is. If you can connect with your family, do it. See my grandmother. Easy. She's turning 94 in like a week. Her birthday's coming up. She's turning 94. She's probably not going to be around with us much longer. She is the holder of all things awesome, wisdom, love, grace. I want to be like her when I'm her age. She's my role model. So seeing my grandmother is definitely the first thing on my list. So I used to work at I went to university. I went to Ryerson University. I graduated, but even years after I graduated, I worked there. So like, my university is also kind of like a family, and also where I lived. I used to live like pretty much right on campus for like a decade. So whenever I go back, I gotta visit my old department where I used to work. My non-rap life, I gotta see all them, and they all like hug me and be like, we saw you in the store, Sarah. Like, you know, you go back and they're all like, she's big now, and I'm like, nah, I don't like when people do that. But I definitely go see my work family from Ryerson University. More than anything though, my favorite thing to do in Toronto is catch up with family. To know people that have known you your whole life, that can check you, that can hold you accountable, that can remind you about who you are, that can remind you of your strengths, your weaknesses. To be around people that you don't have to explain things to. I'm Canadian. There is a cultural difference between Canadians and Americans, straight up. When I'm here, I feel like I'm constantly giving disclaimers a lot for things just because I do things differently. And back home, I don't have to give disclaimers. So even that, just being able to breathe a sigh of relief and be like, I'm like everyone else here. It just feels right, you know? It just feels good. Yeah, positive analyst. I love documentary filmmaking. I used to want to go into that. I love school. I would love to pursue a PhD, probably in cultural studies. I love the photography, like literally like the documentary style photography. I wouldn't mind even having a regular 9-to-5, going home, taking care of, you know, I don't know, my animals. I want a dog, and just doing a regular life. Like, I love doing normal things. So because my life is so not traditional and not normal, things like going to a movie, going to the mall, staying at home watching a movie, those are things that I cherish. Those are what I look for. hidden talent I have, I would say photography, or it's just something that I enjoy. It's a hobby that I'm very passionate about. I own a whole lot of cameras. Some people like to collect china. I like to collect different types of cameras. And I like to take photos. My theory behind my passion for photography is that I have the worst memory, and I moved around a lot my whole life. I never stayed in the same school or city. So for those reasons, the only time I remember a beautiful experience or memory is by taking a photo of it. So it's very important to me. So everywhere I go, I take pictures. I don't get to post them all up, but I try. And I'd like to one day pursue getting better at my professional photography. I've been told repeatedly, especially living in New York City, that I am too all-encompassing, welcoming, friendly. Like, I just meet people and immediately I trust. And if that's a crime, then I don't want to change. Like, I'd rather trust and love. I'd rather not become jaded. So that's something that I'm hoping will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm not a DJ, but I DJ'd my brother's wedding. And I DJ'd at APC, Prince Paul's night. Subsequently, I have been asked to DJ this other wedding in Puerto Rico in October, and I'm like, I'm being flown, all expenses paid to Puerto Rico. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know how to DJ. When I DJ, it is like, the happiness that I have is different than anything, including performing. Like, I feel like it's akin to like how I'm gonna feel on my wedding day, but different. It's the best feeling in the world, so, yeah. Hip-hop, I love you no matter what. My love is unconditional, no matter what people say about you, and no matter how abusive and hurtful you've been to me personally. I have faith that you will grow, that you will change, that you will evolve, that you will mature into more of a, I guess you could say, healthy, fully formed, adaptable being. And even if you continue to hurt me, because you have, I'm not going anywhere. So you're stuck with me, whether you like it or not. To my 10-year-old self, do not compromise your values, what you think is right and wrong. Do not compromise your boundaries. If something feels wrong, go with that gut instinct. Never use sex to get love. Never assume that you need somebody. Never, know your worth, know your value, know that most people don't deserve you, it's not the other way around, and carry yourself accordingly. Never take family for granted and people that love you for granted. Always grow, always learn, always accept criticism, and always seek God first. I know that I'm going to be alright regardless. No matter what happens in my life, it's going to be a beautiful story. I'm confident of that. I have peace. I have peace even in my death. I know that even in my death I'm victorious. So no matter what happens in life is good. I'm going to say this, and do not get it twisted, okay? Don't twist my words. This is a love offering. This is a love child. This is me and Mom's baby. We make music together. It took us 3 years to create this child. And we painstakingly, and so I would check the child out because I think that you will enjoy him, her, it. And all I can say is this: me and Moss just want you to listen. We just want you to hear it, but all of it, because I have to say this. Sorry, there was something on a board, and I shouldn't say this, but they were like, yeah, I'm looking forward to Eternia growing past punchlines, and I was like, man, you didn't listen to the album at all, because if you actually listen, there is a plethora of things that are not battle raps and punchlines on this record. So I would encourage all y'all that think you know to listen and really get to know me as a woman, as a human being beyond rap. Hey,
been a long time coming. I disappeared, but the streets still buzzing. They call me like they miss me. Where you been running? It's like the game needs me, like Jay-Z or something. Yeah, I would've left, wasn't easy. Each time I tried, someone cried, don't leave me. Feel like a mother that's abandoning her